Welcome to another episode of the Top Corner Podcast. Another week, another day.
Ooh,
yeah,
that was nice.
See, I know.
I like that.
We had a lot of good games this weekend, or this past weekend, and also we had two winners from the Asian Cup and the Afcon.
Yep. Both tournaments are over, and
so a lot of players will be returning
Yep.
to their club, and and my co-host today is Julian. I hope by now you guys probably should know him. How you doing today, man?
They know me. I'm kidding. Good. The weather is almost like sometimes the weather really can impact your mood.
Yeah.
And it was so disgusting today that it really did. I was just, I was like, do you want to go to the gym? It's like, yes. Do I want to get out in this more than once today?
Yeah.
No. So I just kind of sat on my couch and looked at my cat and said, this sucks. I'd rather be doing something else than look at your face.
I found weird is not even weird. I found what works for me is if I start going to the gym on a regular basis, and like I have a program and I program either the workouts and the workout days and whatnot. Even if it snows, I will not break.
Yeah.
The reason is because if I stop that day, then it's a whole dominoes effect.
I pretty much go every single day. I go 5 to 6 days a week to have that one rest day. And what it ends up doing, weather like this, is just go, well, today's your rest day. You just slide everything over one day and make it work. But it's a pain in the ass. The awful weather. It's like we're not in winter, but we're not in spring yet either.
Yeah.
It's like I wish it would make up its mind. But anyway, in a good mood despite that. Like you said, a lot of interesting results from the weekend, one of which was not surprising. The other was very surprising. And then I guess the other was expected, but not to the same level that we saw. So why don't you go ahead and kick into some news and some good ass rumors. Did you like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
You like that a little bit? All right, that's cool. I'll take that.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got the news on the reports. Or the news on the rumors, I guess.
We're reporting on the news and rumors.
That's still a good thing.
I say so. What are we doing? This is funny.
Yeah.
Kick into the Afcon results, man.
Yeah. So I said this at the beginning, and I was telling everyone, it's like Ivory Coast story is straight out of a movie.
Yeah.
This just looked like 2016 Portugal at the Euro, and I said it. You should not be surprised if they go and win it. And what did they do?
Yeah.
Exactly what I said.
Whether you're a fan or not,
they won it.
It's a strange one to see the
Yeah,
results.
they won
for.
it.
It's exactly what you
know what? A round of applause for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
They won it. Guess what? When they started, when the competition started, they lost. In fact, they were last out of their group. They finished on bus third, and that's due to Morocco losing their own game. I'm telling you, Nigeria beat Ivory Coast. Nigeria beat Ivory Coast, and what happened? They beat them 1-0, and at the final, Ivory Coast beat them 2-1. Great story, I'm telling you. When you have the will to accomplish anything, you surely will do good, depending on how determined you are, and that's exactly what Ivory Coast did.
It's always interesting seeing those teams that kind of they do just enough to get by, like an inch more than what would have taken for them to be dismissed from the tournament.
Imagine losing from Nigeria 1-0 and losing to Guinea 4-0.
Yeah.
Then you just keep on going, and at the end of the day, they're not gonna ask how much did you lose or how many did you lose. They're gonna ask who won the competition. And guess who? Ivory Coast.
Yep. They did it.
Same thing from the Asia Cup. Qatar won, and there was a lot of things. To be fair, I didn't see the game, but Qatar winning. The one against Jordan.
There you go. Yeah. Everywhere you go.
I think it's 3-1. but they had 3 penalties. So
interesting.
yeah, that's
actually
what I was
I was unfamiliar with this. That is okay. It's fine.
3 penalties in the game. That's crazy to me.
That's substantial.
Yeah, a lot of people, I like reading the memes. I like reading. I like the internet sometimes. And
it gives you some good content sometimes. It gives you an assistant coach
Yeah.
pouring an entire bottle of water on his
What
head
I
coach's
found
head.
when I heard it and I saw it, because I didn't even watch the game, but I saw it, I was like, I didn't watch the game, but some ain't right about this.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying that's crazy.
Well, because what was it? It wasn't, I don't think it was it might have been this past World Cup, right? That Qatar had like the worst performance in a group stage.
Yeah. Did they? I thought who beat Argentina? Yeah, I think.
That was they did not win a single game. They didn't score a single goal, and they conceded like an unbelievable something like that. It was either no, I think it was this past World Cup.
Was this past World Cup?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because Russia was before that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So to see them bounce back like that is yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's curious.
That's crazy.
3 penalties.
Well. Guess what we had in the news? The sin bin rule. If you haven't heard about it, go and read about it. And if you think that's a good thing for football, I don't know. I have no skin in the game yet. I can't say 100% if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
For now, I'm still observing and reading. Oh. But basically, it's a blue card introduced.
Yeah.
You heard about this?
Mm-hmm.
I think hockey kind of does this, where they send a player off
the penalty
for
box.
a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be a hockey fan too. But
good luck. You can try if you want.
But I heard the rules are not that. It's not that far. Like the understanding of the game is not that far from soccer.
Yeah.
Football. I said it.
Yeah, take it back. It wouldn't be that big of a deal for them to try to introduce this if they actually knew how to properly give out yellow and red cards in the first place.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. It's not so much that there's penalty time for you to be off the pitch and then come back on, although I do think that could easily be, in how this sport is structured, troublesome. Yeah. But why do I suspect more issue by introducing more conflict when you can't resolve the conflict that you currently have? And it can get a little messy, like what if you are off for 10 minutes, because that's what they're saying to do, you'd be off for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 minutes into that, there's an injury.
Yeah.
Is that injury time part of your timeout? How long does it carry over? If it bleeds into the second half, like there's a lot of they're introducing a lot of strange penalty rules into a sport that's simple.
Yeah.
And that's where it becomes like they're also trying to make it a bit more like American football, where there are rules for this, regulations for this, you do this here and there, whereas the sport model is so very different.
Yeah.
The whole point of why this sport, football, soccer, depending on where you are, and again, I'll say it, the English termed soccer. So for you to say it's an American thing is you getting your English head up your own ass.
It's not an American term. It's English, obviously, because it's in the language English. But there's just 9 countries in the world that recognize this term for the sport as soccer.
I'm just saying the one country with the wealthiest league in the world and the fans that like to speak down about Americans using the term were the ones that invented it. And to me, that's the most English thing that you could ever do, is blame someone else for the shit that you did. Anyway,
yeah. I think that's English too.
It's very English. But like they're trying to just add these little micro rules and tendencies into a sport that the reason that it's so popular around the world is because it is so simple. And I don't mean simple as in easy to play. Yeah. It's simple and easy to understand. 2 cards. There's no stoppage during the game.
If you're shown a yellow and you commit a foul, you're shown a second yellow, you're out.
Yeah. 2 yellows equals a red. I get it. And there's no,
the yellow red is a red.
The play clock doesn't stop. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stoppage time's added on. I get it. Like it's just it's such a very simple and streamlined sport.
Yeah.
And they're trying to introduce all these elements to make it more complicated, but the issue is certain leagues, not every league has a VAR issue.
Yeah.
Not every league has trouble deciding what constitutes a yellow and a red card. Instead of making a blue card as like a small yellow, why don't you just figure out how to actually give out yellows?
Yeah.
That's what I think. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Because it gets very frustrating. No. They're creating a problem for themselves because they can't solve a previous problem.
On the rule on how the game in 90 minutes it's played itself, it's weird because the more the world progress, right, and things progress along with, but the rule itself and how the game is played, it's a thing that I myself will never want to be introduced to new material, especially that I grew up on that. So I already know how supposed. So you wake me at 2 a.m. in the morning. I just woke up, and you tell me, "Hey, he had a yellow card, and he's getting another yellow. What's happening?" It's a red card. It's just a simple,
Yeah.
If you tackle the defender behind and you're the last defender, it's a red card. It don't matter.
Yeah.
That's just it, because you're the last line of defense.
And a sliding tackle that makes no contact with the ball, but wipes
It's a
your defender
red
out.
card.
It's for 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Like,
So these things are things that are automatically, everybody understands that, Now, if you are dribbling and I am the opponent and I am defending, I shove you, that's a yellow card.
Yeah.
I think that introducing this probably will make it a little bit confusing, because now they're saying that the goalkeeper could also get it. And if the goalkeeper gets it, you cannot bring another goalkeeper. You have to, I think they said you got to put an outfield player in. That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it's like you've already had for the last couple of years because of VAR.
And this is all in England. Yeah, most of the time.
That's and I'm actually highlighting them because it is ironic that the best quality league, and by far the highest earning in terms of money, in the world, is the one having the most problems. It's very strange to me, and like they're really thinking that, have they not seen the last 3 seasons where a sliding tackle is not being met with the complete amount of boos?
Yeah.
Goals are not being cheered immediately. Like, no matter what it is, if there's stop in the play, the fans in the stands and at home are sitting around waiting because they don't know what the call's gonna be.
Yeah.
As opposed to seeing the action, immediately knowing what the call is, and if it's your team, you say, "Well, that's bullshit. That wasn't a foul." You do the normal thing. But now it's people standing around going, "Well, I don't actually know what happened," or "I think I know what happened, but what's he gonna say?"
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. That no one knows what the fuck they're thinking anymore.
Yeah.
And now you want to introduce new elements to cause even more confusion.
Yeah.
You're going to have people like, there's a running joke in the US, and I don't think it's right, but like when women watch American football and don't understand the rules, so they just kind of say it like, okay, what was that? Like, that's what this looks like now. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I've actually seen more men confused with American football because they didn't play it. But like, no, like you're just going to have a bunch of people standing around waiting for the call because they themselves don't recognize what that's supposed to be anymore. And that's an issue to me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I don't think that is a thing. But it's interesting because someone like Colina is on the board. And I think in terms of if I put Colina, although there's a lot of things that if I see him, I would want to ask. Because he did some things to Cameroon in the World Cup. But in terms of refereeing, Colina is up there for me just because how he handled everybody on the pitch. But I think they will announce it next week or this week, or they've announced it.
Well, and they're trying this at lower level leagues as well, so it's not just immediately getting implemented to the top.
No, I think, but you read something. The FA and the FF women might start.
It would be like next season, wouldn't it? Or like when did they say like?
I don't know if it's immediately or whatnot.
I'm paraphrasing what the person said, but they were like, they said both things. They said, well, it's going to be started at lower levels first, but we're going to go ahead and talk about it now. Like they're trying to, like, they are going to bring it to lower levels first to see how it works, but they have a very clear intention of getting this thing active at the top very quickly, which is scary as well, because it's like it might be untested and unproven at lower levels, but we're going to force it in because we have to. Great.
Nice. Well, if you guys didn't watch the games, and I'm telling you, this weekend was full. Oh, is it full or full? I think it's full. We had great games. I'm telling you. Girona, I'm talking the underdogs going against the big dogs. And in Spain, Girona versus Madrid. You know, a lot of people thought, especially that Girona is the best attacking team currently. So they've scored more goals than any team in the Spanish league at this present moment. They were like, and you know, Girona is doing great. And we all thought, or at least a lot of people thought, not we as in me, in it, because, you know.
Making this clear.
Yeah.
Making this clear.
Los Blancos.
Yeah.
Hala Madrid.
Okay.
Always. But not an adept.
Don't say always, because it's not true.
No, always, but not an adept. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, the day that I don't feel it, I'm not with them.
Yeah. You guys think this is bullshit too, right? I'm not just okay. We'll see. We'll put a poll out there and see if if they think that ethically you should still be a Real Madrid fan.
But I'm telling you, Madrid absolutely demolished Girona. Talking about, it was a complete, clear cut understanding that person who runs Spain is Madrid.
Yeah.
And we showed up, we showed out, and we established the rules.
You can't even say it with a straight face. No, I mean, like this was, I mean, both the Spanish League and the German League had their respective dynasties up against underdog sides.
Yeah.
Now, Leverkusen has more history of not necessarily titles or accolades, but being in the top flight division longer than Girona. You know,
Girona just came up like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So Leverkusen and Girona are not really on the same level in terms of how underdog they are. But you know, Bayer Leverkusen,
there's levels to this underdog stuff.
Yeah. And so Leverkusen really showed that they are taken very seriously in the Bundesliga, but Girona really did show that it's their good fortune, they're being able to stay on top of the table.
Yeah.
You're going to drop points in the season, and they're dropping them to not only the clubs that they shouldn't, but the ones that they should, with Real Madrid. And yeah, it was an unfair showing. It was a 4-0 and pretty brutal, man. And it was exactly what you think. Two from Bellingham, one from Vinicius, and one from Rodrigo. Yeah.
2 assists from Vinicius. And I would tell you what, the midfield in this, because Madrid still have problems with the defense in a sense, but
a lot of injury issues.
Yeah, but what Carlo Ancelotti is doing with whoever is available and healthy is amazing to me, and the rotation is pretty much it's interesting because you had Carvajal and Tchouaméni as a CB, although Tchouaméni have played that before. You had, of course, Camavinga on the midfield, but really on the left side on the midfield. And many times he had to cut in and do this runs. I mean, it was really fast,
gliding past people with ease.
He was accelerating, and his acceleration was pretty good for someone that's not a winger or a striker. It's interesting because when you see them playing, it's crazy because the midfield itself, you're talking about Camavinga, Kroos, Bellingham, Valverde, or whoever is playing the midfield, but most of the guys I just mentioned, the way they drop deep to get the ball, to transition, and to attack. It's the midfield, because usually you will have or either your 6 or someone that's kind of there for that. But they have to do that just so they can also defend as a unit, because the defense is not that great. But the rate at which they do it and how fast they execute it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
It was very interesting seeing their midfield sit back so deep, especially with Valverde. And Valverde's actually very well-rounded. He might be the most
Camavinga.
He's more attacking-minded than Camavinga, though. That's what I'm saying. I think that Valverde can do everything, very well. And for him to sit back that deep, you kind of feel like it would take some of his tools away.
Yeah.
But no, he is very good.
Yeah.
And that deep position sits well with Tony Cruz.
Yeah.
Who was never the greatest athlete.
Yeah,
he
he's
never
not
had
gonna
to
do
be.
those ones.
No,
but
he doesn't
would,
have to.
At least one thing that he would do very good and exceptional is if he sees it, then you will see it.
Yeah.
If he sees the opening, then you will receive it.
Yep.
So I don't know if you ever heard about this. I don't know if you heard about it, but Kevin Prince Boateng, he was saying that when he got to Milan, was it Milan? Yeah. So he kept, because he played in England for so long, and when they're training, he would be like, "Oh, the ball, pass the ball, and all this." And he went to Milan. He was doing the same thing, and Pirlo was playing at the time, and Pirlo don't speak English, so he talked to the interpreter, and he said, "Hey, can you tell him that don't be shouting here?"
Yeah. Don't be such a fuck, okay?
He said, "If I see you, if you are open,
yeah,
the ball will come."
Yeah.
Or something like that. Just meaning that
if I see you, you'll see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I think Madrid right now, it's a force to reckon with, and they are actually very, very dangerous, especially that Junior Rodrigo and how fast they can execute a counterattack or whatever they're doing, and how I'm telling you, Yan Couto, I'm pretty sure when he sleeps, and I don't know if you guys know this guy, this Yan Couto guy. I think he's the right back. Is it? Yeah, he's the right back. I'm pretty sure he has nightmares. I'm telling you, he sleeps and he just sees Vinny Jr.
Oh yeah.
He probably needs a hip replacement, because Vinny Jr. just did him dirty, cooked him on both sides of the field, back, left, front. This guy, he thought, man,
Yeah.
he's in for a treat. But I'm telling you, and that Trivela for assist, I think he assisted Bellingham. That Trivela was nasty business.
Yeah.
And the goal, Madrid, y'all are making me proud. Don Carlo Ancelotti, you the man.
Yeah. I mean, look, they started out the season not looking like, they never looked like they were in big trouble. They never looked like they were in fear of losing their Champions League spot, or but they've really hit a run of good form in the last couple of months. They have 13 of their last 15 points.
The scariest thing about this kind of team is how good they can score. Although they still need a striker, because if you add a striker, basically not really a striker in the sense of striking, but if you add someone like Mbappe, it means you're creating a team that anyone from those four can score. I'm not talking about people that score sporadically. I'm talking about someone that will score when there's the opening. It's very, even right now, it's they're looking very dangerous, very dangerous. So
you have to think also, because we've touched on it as well. With, even though I saw some news today that sort of said that, Mbappe's committed, but also he hasn't officially signed, like doing the whole thing. But listen, he's going there.
Yeah.
But why would you even consider getting rid of Vinicius Jr. in this form, in this setup, this team that is in the middle of transitioning from one era to the next, and they're doing it very well.
Yeah.
You don't want to get rid of Vinicius Jr. I don't care if you think that you need the funds to come from him from somewhere, but you got to get rid of someone else from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, what I will do, I will put Junior here. I'll still leave Junior on that left wing. That's crazy, because Mbappe cannot. He can play striker, but I don't think that's what he will go there to play.
I don't give a fuck. Ancelotti shouldn't give a fuck either.
No, the problem is that he shouldn't be. But on that side, I know what they can do. Junior could be the striker. Either Junior or Mbappe. But it's going to be, unless Mbappe is not like playing full strike in a sense, you still have this kind of formation when Bellingham is like the force 8 or 9, and Mbappe is doing the same. He's not fully up there, but then he can do this. He can cover that. And you will have Rodrigo on the side.
Yeah.
Then you can have either Camavinga. For me, by next year, I think someone like Tchouaméni or Camavinga can fully transition, or work at least 50% to transition in Toni Kroos shoes. Because in all honesty, Toni Kroos has about what probably one good year, and
Yeah.
the rest is probably like
Because he signed back for 1 year, and it looks like they're willing to at that point, even if he does have 2 more years of being able to do something, they're willing to let him go at that point, which I do agree with. And all good things must come to an end. And I think it's important for Real Madrid to be able to honestly do what they do with Ronaldo, where did he still have 2 years left at that level that he did at Madrid? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Were they willing to let it go because it wasn't going to be the same and let him go to Juventus? Yes. And when you do that, you allow the team that's buying that big player to think they got one over on you. Like, oh, we got fucking Ronaldo. It's like, yeah, I mean, he is on his way off as we speak. We somehow managed to get the very last game in which he was still rising in skill and quality.
So I'll probably do that like that, and then you creating a super team. I'm talking about a team that will come in, and most of them the average age is probably 24 or 20 because in that team, telling you guys. And you put Davis in there. Davis is not even 25 yet. He hasn't even hit his real peak. He don't know.
He's what, 22 or 23?
Yeah,
he just turned 23.
How fast is he? Can you be? How can you be that fast at that age?
Yeah. Well, these
guys don't even know their peak yet.
None of them are. Yeah. Like they will have, once they make a few more transitions, at least a half decade of all of these guys in their prime.
Yeah,
and they won't need anybody to come in or out.
Pure destruction and demolition.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, any team that will go against these guys, they will have a run for their money. But on the flip side, if you win, then we're gonna know that your team is really good or the coaching is good.
This has to be one of the best transitions from eras, right? In at least the last 20 years, in terms of just like what they did as that previous group.
In the last 20 years, yes.
And then coming in and not playing as well as they did in that previous era initially, but been able to turn it around into something pretty special to where you look at it, most of the guys on the pitch are new players.
Even City had a good transition from like the Yaya Toure.
Yeah. I'll agree with that too.
Yeah. Even City had a... In terms of transitioning without going down, especially for clubs that have existed for long, I think Madrid has done the best job so far. Like really quick. That's really good. Let's go to England. Yeah. I mean,
what was your predicted score before the
Arsenal
match?
West Ham?
Yeah.
I thought Arsenal will win, but I didn't think Arsenal will win like that.
Yeah, I expected
because that's not the win.
I expected a 2-0 or a 2-1.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I expected. Although, I mean, West Ham have beaten them twice this season so far. So if there was going to be a team that would have just laced it up 3-0 for the season with them, that would have been them.
It's crazy because I was talking with this guy and he's an Arsenal fan, and he was like, "There's no way." We were both like, "Yeah, Arsenal's gonna win," but we were like, he just talked out loud, and he was like, "There's no way Arsenal score 6 goals to have the same point difference on City."
Yeah.
Arsenal freaking scored.
He spoke that into reality.
Yeah. And I was like, wow,
nice. What? He should give him a call every weekend before Arsenal plays. Give him a call. Seriously.
Is Arsenal making a statement? Is Arsenal saying, because last week they won Liverpool with West Ham, they didn't just win, but this was a show of power.
That was one of their best performances of the season, but it was also one of West Ham's worst.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind as well. Like,
they
actively played poorly.
Yeah, but when I beat you, we're not talking about if you're worse or not. If we go to war, if I win, we're not going to say, "Oh, you went good that day." Oh, yeah. I won. But the way in which Arsenal won, is this a message? Is this telling everyone that Arsenal is in form? Because they are in form. They beat Liverpool too, and not just 1-0. They beat Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, is this a statement? Is this saying we are in form, we are ready, or we can compete for the championship title?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I do think that. I mean, well, if Manchester City, I mean, again, they have a game in hand to play, but also to me, this is a good sign for the Premier League where you've got 3 teams going for the title. And
neck to neck.
And the favorite is only the favorite because they have a game in hand, not because they are playing their absolute best. I mean, they have won 5 straight. They have corrected some of their malaise that they've had over the midpoint of the season, or I guess the midpoint through the halfway before the January transfer window. They didn't seem that great. But, I mean, even with just a game in hand, tied for points, the goal difference is almost identical. If Manchester City are they're still the absolute favorites, Arsenal still have to be in the race. I'm not saying that they're favorites just because they're tied on points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if everyone's that close in points, all 3 of them are still very much in the race. It comes down to who is going to concede points in sloppy matchups and maybe let their emotions get the best of them. And as an Arsenal supporter, I do think of those 3, Arsenal is the more likely for it to happen to.
Yeah.
But the points don't lie, the records don't lie, the current form of all 3 sides doesn't lie either. And so to me, I think all 3 of them are very much still in this.
Saka gets a round of applause, first of all. Yeah.
There it is.
And for those who didn't see the game, but you don't have to watch the game to understand what I'm going to say. Saka is the youngest Arsenal player to reach 50 goals for the club. So, amazing performance. I mean, that goal, that cut back in and just put it on that first. Oh, my goodness. The distraction was so palpable that what Arsenal did was brought in 16 years old players. That's just to say, wait, that's so good. We gotta arrest these guys.
and also keep in mind that those 50 goals in the appearance with 200 appearances. At the age of 22 for Arsenal.
200 appearances,
something
already?
like that. That was what I saw. But keep this in mind too. His first 2 seasons, he did not play that well. Like, he didn't just come in and light things up. He dawdled on the ball, and he didn't make a lot of great choices. You know what? So these stats, these improvements have come within an even smaller window than that at the age of 22.
You know what I would say, though? And usually when you compare era to era, there's one thing that I would say from this generation of players. Because back in the days, of course, you had like the 1 in 2 or the 1 in 5 players that would come in and they will really be just star will shine so bright that at 20 and 19 years old, at 21 years old, they will be doing amazing things, right? But it's so apparent nowadays. Most of these players that we see out nowadays, they're not even 22 or 23. Most of them come at 19, they're destroying everyone. At 20, they're playing the football you can't just believe. So I think that's one thing I would say in this era. A lot of players are getting good too quick, too fast. So
it was 158 appearances with 41 goals. Well, these stats might not have been updated yet because he hit 50 goals.
Yeah.
So fuck that then. But no, I mean, either way, those stats are unbelievable for his age, and especially like I said again, considering that you can't expect them to have been spread out over all of his seasons because again, those first 2 seasons were not anywhere near the quality that he has today.
I can get behind. On the other side, the gods of football couldn't allow the 2 underdog win on the same weekend. They had to choose who's gonna carry, who's gonna bear with the Cinderella story.
There can only be one. Highlander.
And there's never 2 Cinderella, so they chose Leverkusen.
That's true.
And guess what? Leverkusen came in, they destroyed Bayern Munich, and as we are speaking, Leverkusen is I think 31-0.
These guys in all comps.
Xabi Alonso is doing something amazing. To be honest, I wouldn't want him to leave after next year.
But every single club that wants a new manager wants him. Every single one. He is the Cinderella of managers, and Leverkusen is the Cinderella of clubs.
And
it's amazing.
If he wins it, this will be crazy because the first time a manager takes you over, and I think this probably his first professional job too. He gets in as a manager. You know. He takes the club, he goes win the title, Oh man!
And then goes bye and goes to a Liverpool.
How
or something.
crazy will this be?
Yeah.
Is this story? But Bayern, what's happening with Bayern? What's happening with Munich? What's happening with them? Right?
Yeah.
Why? And if you watch the game, they didn't. Leverkusen didn't just sit back. They were hunting them, and every single opportunity they had was a threat for a goal, and they did not mess around. I'm telling you, especially the corner. I'm telling you, when they took that corner, and even the commentator was talking about something. Before he finished, it was a goal. I was like, oh my goodness.
Well, it's like
calm down.
Girona did not want to play their same style that they normally play against Madrid. They made choices that then impacted how they built up their play, and Real Madrid were able to take advantage of that. Leverkusen did not bend at all to Bayern Munich. They said, we are going to play our game. We don't really care that you are the German dynasty. It would not serve us well to play a different style out of fear of what you might do.
Yeah.
So instead, they just really hammered the quick counters. They made sure that the slow pace of the Bayern midfield that's really awful at making that transition back to defense, they really made them pay. Florian Wirtz looked absolutely unbelievable. Jamal Musiala was not able to get back in defense on the ball.
Yeah.
And also, you've got this strange setup here. Tell me why you have Pavlovic and Mazarawi and Bowie in this midfield. And at the end of the day, sure, Kimmich is not still in his great form, and I don't know why Thomas Tuchel can't get anything out of him. But this is a very strange lineup that I think does absolutely no favors for this Bayern Munich side. Like I said, very slow to transition back onto defense, and a very quick and energetic Leverkusen made them pay for that.
Do you think that Bayern Munich coach will be blamed for this catastrophic performance? Do you think that there's a chance that a lot of people will be looking at Thomas Tuchel and say, "What are you doing?" Right?
Yeah, and it wouldn't be the first time.
What's going on with the Bavarians?
The Bavarians. It wouldn't be the first time that Thomas Tuchel comes in, does very well in the first season and a half, and then just hits a brick wall and immediately seems to undo the good faith that the fans have.
Yeah.
And then is very quick to move on to somewhere else. But yeah, I mean, Bayern Munich did look lethargic. I don't think that Eric Dyer belongs in the back line at all. Yeah. I don't think half the guys in that midfield need to be there either. So yeah, the players can be blamed for their performance as well. But I mean, it's up to Tuchel to set the team up in formation. Yeah. And why do you set a team that already has trouble getting back? Why do you set them up for failure with their lack of energy and their lack of pace in that positioning? I don't know. So it's equal blame, but yeah, Tuchel is definitely responsible for some of it.
Well, that was like and United too had a pretty interesting game, man.
Yeah,
I didn't watch everything, but
no.
The 2-1 United, they kind of every single day that goes by, they kind of getting together. McTominay is becoming the bailout guy, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch Suit, but there's a scene there. I think.
To watch what?
Suit. It's a show. It's kind of like it's not like The Office. But
I don't watch TV though.
Oh yeah, you don't watch TV. You just watch you just watch a lot of movies from the 60s,
40s, 50s, 60s.
Oh, 40s?
Yeah.
They had cameras back then?
Yeah, Jesus. I watched a film last night called The Story of Temple Drake.
Oh, my goodness.
From, was it 1931 or 32?
Yeah.
Very good psychological noir thriller. Anyway.
Well, I was saying that in so there's like it's about lawyers. There's a scene where this guy, he gets I think he gets incarcerated or something like that, and he said, let me get a phone call to my lawyers. And when he calls the lawyers, they come in, the real deal is coming, and this guy said, I will bring the whole full power of whatever on you if you don't release him. So that's kind of like Scott McTominay now. every time coming in and bailing United. But
Yeah.
just to say that United is they are playing.
Well, and Højlund with another early goal
Højlund,
as well.
Yeah. So it looks like they probably can end up fourth.
They could. Well, I was gonna say, and this performance was, with an early goal from Højlund to get some energy, and then McTominay being able to come in and guarantee the 3 points. This wasn't against a Crystal Palace or an Everton or a Luton. This was against Aston Villa, the current 5th place. So it could not have happened, I think, to a better matchup for them to really get some good confidence moving forward with the season.
You know what I think? I think that if I used to also blame United. Although I still blame him. United's coach at 50% now. It's not 100%. The reason why I blame him 50% is just the way he goes about things, expecting, because you are playing with a new generation too. Now I blame the players because of the generation in which the players are in. When I say generation, it's in general, because he is trying to make them understand that players are not greater than the team and the club.
Right. Yeah.
But players,
which is true.
Yeah, but players, and it's not really even players, but kids of these generations, especially at their level, having that type of money, don't understand that.
Right.
It's about
me.
Yeah.
Me.
So you hop on social media.
They weren't
and
spanked enough growing up, is what happened. They should have had their asses beat a couple more times.
I think it goes both ways, and I think they should just, him as an older or wiser person, I don't know if he's wise, but should find a way in which he could do those things and put respect in the locker room without
damaging the
reputation.
reputation.
Hostile and damage because if you're hostile, especially if you come too strong on people, they might not feel the need to be with you or go,
Well, and you hope that a player in that locker room like Casemiro would take that coach's side. Look at who he's played with. He should be able to go like, none of you were them. So Sancho, get your head out of your ass.
But it depends too, right? I think Casemiro is no more the way, I don't know him, but the way he seems like a guy who's more like a laid back kind of guy. Yeah, that don't really want to meddle with things if whatever happened. And he kind of already has his career. Yeah, and
so I'm not saying go in and turn things upside down and make a scene.
No, I mean
I mean he's got to say like, look, man, I understand that your guys' feelings are important. No one's bigger than the club. And this comes from someone that's played with Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema. Yeah. And it's like, I have how many Champions Leagues to my name? Like based because even though those players were giant players, it was all for Real Madrid. Even Ronaldo was able to shape, like, Madrid is bigger than everything else. And just, I don't know. He should be able to put that in perspective for these kids that are playing for a Manchester United that haven't been Manchester United in a long time.
So, Jose Mourinho is reported to learn in German.
Yeah.
In preparation of, we don't know.
I think so.
So, what do you think about that? That's why I asked earlier. Do you think, because right now, there's a lot of pressure on Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
There
always is. There always is.
Do you think at the end of the season he's a gunner? And if he's a gunner, you think this might be a move?
I think that Bayern Munich are looking around at all the other clubs because again, this is a really good time. To fire your manager because
everybody's quitting. Everybody's been fired.
Everybody's leaving.
It's the trend. Hop on the trend, Bayern.
Yeah, like everybody's leaving, but not immediately. So you're not getting caught with your pants down. Like everybody knows that the summer, a lot of guys are moving around. So I think that Bayern, even though they're a little bit late to the party, understand that if they're gonna get rid of Tuchel, it's not working. But is it the worst thing in the world? No, they're second place in the league. They're still guaranteed to go far in the Champions League. It could be worse for them. They're spoiled that way, but they're looking at it as, well, no. We can find a suitable solution for this. By the time, it's not that we're rushing to make a decision in a couple of weeks.
You know what's crazy though? The Tottenham curse, guys. It's a thing. You can take the guy out of Tottenham, but you can't take the curse out of the guy from Tottenham. This guy went to Munich expecting to win trophies, and it doesn't seem like that's a thing or that's gonna be a thing. So this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh man, I want Hagen. You know what? I think if that ever happens and Moreno ends out to buy, I'll be happy for him. Not because I'll be happy for him because he gets to coach a top team.
Yeah.
With top players
again.
Yeah. Because he hasn't had that in a while. People complain about things, but actually Moreno has been doing the best with the less.
Oh yeah.
Because he hasn't have a Chelsea of 205 in a while.
I was gonna say you could even count Manchester United from like 2015 and 16 in this like not having a lot because that was a very lackluster United squad.
He hasn't had that kind of caliber of team and players
since
in a while.
Chelsea and Inter.
Since Chelsea, Inter, and Madrid.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean it would really be cool to see that happen for him.
That would definitely be cool. So this weekend was crazy, and we got Champions League this week.
Yep,
we got Champions League.
Which
I think Madrid is playing Leipzig.
Yeah, they are. They in Leipzig as well, and we were talking about it. So life goes by so fast, kids. I thought for sure that it was next week because this last week was so fast that it felt like it didn't happen. Yeah. So I did not. I actually have to like recalibrate my entire weekly schedule to now accommodate Champions League. So you're welcome, everybody. I do this for you and you. But good matchups. So do you want to run through like just a little preview of what's going on Champions League wise?
You can just run through the matches.
Yeah. 4 matches for the match week. We've got Leipzig hosting Real Madrid. Yeah. We've got FC Copenhagen hosting Manchester City. We've got Lazio hosting Bayern Munich, and we've got PSG hosting Real Sociedad. Ooh. So the way that they've structured their matches this week, it's pretty clear to me at least that you know, if you're gonna watch 2 full matches, one on each day, what they should be: Leipzig and Madrid, and PSG and Sociedad. That's pretty much what we'll cover in full. I might not be able to watch the entire full matchups of both, but I will watch the highlights for all of them. Yeah. So we have stuff to talk about. But a very good opener. And then on the 16th and 17th, the next Champions League matchup week, Arsenal and Porto, which actually feels like a very competitive
Porto?
Lineup.
Porto haven't been doing great so. Have they? No. Let's see.
But it feels like it could be a challenging round of 16 for Arsenal that are not used to being there. Like it's enough to get them through.
Yeah.
But it'll be a challenge and sort of like a bit of a wake up. It's like no, this isn't Lens.
Yeah.
And I mean that respectfully with Lens, even though they got 3 points over Arsenal in the group stage. If you're an Arsenal player, this is a perfect matchup for you to have to take seriously. Yeah. But you'll likely move on. But it's not an FC Copenhagen where you could potentially coast.
Yeah.
So that could yield some interesting results. I could still see Porto coming from behind and taking advantage of an Arsenal that's not used to being in the Champions League. Yeah. But PSV, Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan, and Atletico Madrid, Napoli and Barcelona. Yeah. And then like I said, Porto and Arsenal. I mean, like there's a lot of good matchups in that round of 16 there. No massive ones except for maybe Barcelona and Napoli, both of which are not playing very well right now, especially Napoli. It's so sad seeing a defending Serie A champion performing like they are right now. So maybe that matchup is not as exciting as it was.
That's probably why Osimhen won.
Osimhen should win out. Kvaratskhelia should want to leave. Piotr Zielinski is all but certain to signing to Inter Milan in July, by the way. Ooh. So that midfield's crumbling because that midfield was Lobotka, Zielinski, and Anguissa. Oof. And then if Osimhen's out, if one of your 3 spines of your midfield's out, Kim Min-jae is out, Kvaratskhelia is wanting out as soon as possible, the Napoli dream is over. You won a title for the first time in 3 years, or 30 years. 3 years. But yeah, that dream is over. Everyone's trying to get off the sinking ship, which is a bummer.
Oof. Well, let's do our power rankings for the week. What do you think? I got Leverkusen at the top this time. I mean, Madrid is killing it. City is killing it, but Leverkusen haven't lost any game.
You got to hit your button. Yeah. You got to tell these guys how good they are. Tell them how good they are. Tell them how good they are. Hit it, guys. Oh, that works too. Yeah. Jesus.
No,
you guys are so great.
Leverkusen is killing it. I know.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Actually, they need another round of applause now this time.
Yep. Yeah. Give it to them. Give them their flowers. Yeah, I mean,
I think
they're
that's why
well.
I put them first. Not to say the City is not killing it or
Yeah.
that first, but
Yeah.
the fact that they also haven't lost a game, since this season started.
Well, and again, this is a sliding. Like the power rankings are not exactly who
And
the
this is
very
our
best teams are.
opinion,
It's based on the club themselves, but also like where they're expected to be.
Yeah.
Like you expect Real Madrid and Inter Milan to be at the top. You don't expect Leverkusen to be undefeated this far. So if you put them above a Manchester City, you're not saying that they're a better squad, but it's like they're performing at a much higher level than they're expected to, whereas City are playing under what they're expected to. So they should be lower.
What?
What?
They should be lower?
No, like City, like if City was lower than Leverkusen because they're expecting to do more than what they are doing.
Yeah.
Whereas Leverkusen are like head and shoulders above what they're supposed to be doing at the time.
Yeah.
So hit me with them. What do you got?
Oh.
Do you have 5 or 10?
God, I'm gonna give it top of my head.
Okay.
Do I want to do it? Let's do it, guys.
Do it.
And I will tell you. I got Leverkusen. I got Madrid second. I got City third. I got Paris Saint-Germain fourth. No, actually, I got Arsenal fourth. Arsenal or Paris? Because
This is why you write it down.
No,
this is why you write it down.
Paris has been killing it lately too. They haven't been losing.
Right.
Whereas Arsenal, I got Paris and Arsenal. That's 5.
Okay. You want mine?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Number 1, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Number 2, Inter Milan.
Kill it.
Number 3, Liverpool.
All right.
Number 4, Man City.
I sure should.
Number 5, Bayer Leverkusen.
All right.
Number 6, Arsenal. Number 7, Bayern Munich. Number 8, Stuttgart.
Stop it.
And, number 9, Girona.
Oh la la.
And, ooh la la. And even though they just lost, they're still playing well at
One
a
game? They just lost one game.
no,
They're too
well,
far.
Aston Villa's number 10. That's who I was saying. Like, they lost to United, but they still, I mean, they're still 5th place. They have not shown in the last 5 or 6 years that they should be in that top.
Did I say Aston Villa is gonna end up 6? Oh.
You said West Ham top 6.
Oh dang.
Top 6. Top 6. Yeah.
That was our power ranking, guys. This was amazing.
I love it. You guys are so great.
I know.
Perfect.
We are great.
Yeah.
We are killing it.
That was for that was for everybody, including us.
Yeah, definitely. We got a good show for you guys next week too. And
Champions League this damn Thursday.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, man.
Before we get there, I'll tell you the fact of the week.
Oh shit.
We started a new segment, fact of the week. And the fact of the week, of this week, Yaya Toure, and for those who don't know Yaya Toure, he used to play at City. He retired now. Yaya Toure has been dispossessed only once while dribbling in his entire career. You know how insane
That almost doesn't even make sense. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yaya Toure was killing the game.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You couldn't take the ball from him unless he's making a pass or whatnot.
Yeah.
But if he has the ball, he has it. So that was the fact of the week.
Kidding. Wow.
Now, guys, I'm telling you guys, we had a good show every single week.
Every single week. We've never had a bad one, and we never will.
No.
Don't even get that bullshit in your mind.
Never. And guess what? Go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification button, and just be notified every time we drop something. We got our socials. We got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Go subscribe and listen to us.
And we're changing the name of that Twitter pretty soon, aren't we, Jordan?
Oh yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, we are gonna do that, aren't we?
Yeah,
we have to do that. Spotify, give us the star review. It's massive.
Yeah,
it helps a lot for the algorithms to get this shit in front of more people.
Yeah,
don't you want our shit in front of more people? I know I do.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going crazy with the soundboard.
It's great. We finally got it working, everybody.
Yeah.
We had some production issues, but I love this thing.
All right.
Having a great time. I hope you are too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.